And we're back and have a special guest today that is running for Congress. And this is Brian T. Carroll. Brian, welcome to the show.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
We're actually very glad to have you. And I have read your bio and your issues and things on your website. And as I think I shared just a minute ago, we have several things in our history that are very parallel. So you've done a thing or two.
I have. I started teaching in Farmersville at the junior high in 1977. Taught history and a few other things for 6 years. Took a one-year leave of absence to go to South America and took 25 years to get back. And during that time I was in Colombia for 9 years, spent a little bit of time in Brazil, taught some English in China, taught a while in Visalia, and now I've been back in Farmersville for 10 years.
Wow.
Some of the students I have now are grandchildren of the students I had in 77,
oh my gosh,
78.
Wow, that's amazing. I would venture to say there's very few, if any, congressional candidates or Congress people that have that kind of background.
You know, one of the problems we have in Congress is that you get somebody who decides they want to be in Congress when they're in junior high, and they make all the right career moves, and they get to be, well, Devin Nunes was 29 when he started in Congress.
Was he?
When he was elected, when he was sworn in.
Wow.
And I think you can look back, I can look back to when I was 29. I didn't know who I was, you know, and I was learning. And so young guy gets up there not knowing quite who he is yet, and there's a whole lot of lobbyists that are willing to help him learn who he is.
That's right.
And so
Unfortunately,
I'm 68, I'm still in good health, and I'm still teaching junior high. I think that the experiences that I take up there give me an advantage over the youngest fellow in this race is 33.
Okay.
So, you know,
Wow.
I've got twice the life experience that he does.
Wow. Well, I would imagine it gives you a pretty interesting perspective. I know that you're very passionate about, respecting life, and that ventures into things like immigration and water issues and others that you've
It figures
there.
in everything. I approach the life issues as a social justice issue because there is, to me, social justice is people who have privilege and have a voice speaking up for people who don't. And no one is more marginalized in our society than the unborn.
That's true.
But you look around and there are social justice issues everywhere that need to be addressed.
And a lot of them are really out there now. I mean, but it seems like, I don't know, might not be the place to say it, but it seems like some of them are really fringe, groups that have become so pigeonholed in one thing that almost to like the detriment of another, so, but there are definitely things that those of us that have a voice and are well should probably be.
So many things are arbitrary. I have siblings that are in my class, and one is here legally and one's not here legally. But they come from the same household every morning, go back to the same household. They've been in our school since kindergarten. And yet we think of one as being illegal and one as not, one as being a citizen. That's a simple, arbitrary statement of who's legal. And the same kind of thing in abortion. Location is all the difference. Same as when we had slavery, all right? So you have a slave in South Carolina, he's got no civil rights. He's a non-person. He's chattel. He can't even hire a lawyer and pursue a lawsuit.
Sure.
But if he can escape to Canada, suddenly he's a person. Well, I don't think moving from South Carolina to Canada gave him personhood. I think personhood is intrinsic in human beings.
I would agree. Yeah. So tell us real quick, we've got a few minutes left. I told you it goes quick. You are behind a force with a new political party,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a little something you'd like to share.
Yeah.
That
This shows, this scatter chart shows voters in the 2016 election, and you can see that you have the red is the Republicans and the blue are the Democrats, and they're pretty much centered in the Democrats in the area that is economically more liberal and socially more liberal, and the Republicans are up here economically more conservative and socially more conservative. And over here you have a group that is kind of our target. They are economically more liberal and socially more conservative. We are in the opposite quadrant from the libertarians. And so we realize, well, there's three good candidates down here for voters who are down here, and there's one, the incumbents up here, but we don't see anybody addressing this group over here. And that's what we're trying to address in the American Solidarity Party.
so you're the polar opposite of the libertarian,
Yeah.
you said.
And there's a good libertarian in the race as well. So voters get a good choice.
Sounds like it. Wow. So quickly, in about 2 minutes, why should somebody consider Brian Carroll?
Because I'm not a member of either of the main parties,
Mm-hmm.
I have the freedom to be creative. You know, if you're a Democrat, you have to toe the Democratic line, and
Yeah.
if you get out of it, they
Same with
discipline
the
you.
other group, yeah.
Same with the Republicans.
Yeah.
I can be creative.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of all kinds of fun things, and people can lower their resistance because if they like my idea, they can steal it. They're welcome to it. And if they don't like my idea, well, they knew I was crazy to start with. You know, so they can write me off, and the the ideas can stand on their own merit.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that's something that I'm glad you said it that way. In your bio, you did offer that. It's like, hey, if I've got anything to add, anybody can have it as long as you'll use it. In essence, that's what you were saying, I think.
We can win two ways. One is if we actually win the election, if we replace one of the other parties. But we win just as well if somebody steals our party,
Exactly.
all of our ideas,
Yeah.
and runs with them.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. Wow. Well, you know what? I imagine when's the election? In June?
June 5th for the primary.
Okay. So, and you have to get, what, a little over 50%? Not have to run in November?
Well, the top two candidates will run in November.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And out of six candidates, I suspect the second place person might be in the vicinity of 18 or 20%. You know, it's
Wow.
with six people in the race.
So that would bode well for somebody of a, if you want to call it a minor party.
There'll never be another opportunity like this one.
Really. Well, sir, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on, and I imagine that with your background and experience, we could probably talk for about 10 shows. But
We could.
So you're always welcome back.
Thank you very
So,
much. It's
you
a
bet.
pleasure being here.
You bet. Good luck to you. This is Brian Carroll, candidate for Congress, and if you have more questions, you can go to his website, carrollca22.com, and get a lot of good information. I've actually went there and read as much as I could, and very, very good information. So we're going to be back with Linda Hebert with Dignity Memorial Plans, and I think you'll be impressed with some of the information that she has to share. I have a little bit of understanding of that myself, and looking forward to sharing that. So we'll be right back with Truth for Seniors.